Last class, we have discussed about internal combustion engine, external combustion engine, and differences between them. Today, we will be continuing with internal combustion engine, and specifically, we will be seeing the main components of IC engine. Though the IC engine look very simple as compared to external combustion engine, these IC engine are very complex machine. As you can see, there are hundreds of components which are present in an IC engine, and these components have to perform their function very efficiently so as to produce a desired power output and achieve a desired efficiency. There are basically two types of IC engine which we know. One is SI engine, or you can say petrol engine, and another one is CI engine, or for non-technical people, we can say it as diesel engine. SI engine, in which the combustion is initiated with the help of a spark plug, that is, the petrol cannot auto-ignite. We have to give some ignition there. And CI engine, which is compression ignition engine, in this the combustion takes place with the help of auto ignition. Auto ignition of what? Auto ignition of fuel. That is, the engine is designed in such a way that during compression, the temperature produced is very high, which is sufficient to burn the fuel there. So combustion is taking place because of auto ignition in CI engine, while in SI engine, we have to initiate combustion with the help of spark plug. So today we will be seeing the main components of IC engine. What are the main components which need to perform very efficiently so that a desired power output can be obtained? So the first major component is our cylinder block. Cylinder block is the first major component. It is the main supporting structure for the various components. Like in automobile, you can see we have chassis on which the different components are attached. Different vehicular units of our automobile are attached there. Similarly, in IC engine, the main supporting structure is our cylinder block. In case of multi-cylinder engine, the different cylinders are cast into a single unit. Like if you say we are using a multi-cylinder engine, suppose I am using a V-shape engine and it's a multi-cylinder engine. That is, number of cylinders are more than one. Suppose it is V4, V8. So it doesn't mean that for every cylinder I am using two different units. What it is saying, if it is a multi-cylinder engine, we are casting it as a single unit. We will cast it in 3D and it will be working as a single unit. And this single unit is known as our cylinder block. Then cylinder block, at the top of it, we are providing cylinder head. This portion is our cylinder head at the top of it. The cylinder head and cylinder block, both of these are provided with water jackets. These are our water jacket in which our cooling water is there for the cooling purpose. Cylinder head gasket is there again between this cylinder head and cylinder block. There is a partition which is known as gasket. It is incorporated between the cylinder block and cylinder head, and the cylinder head is held tightly by number of bolt or stud. The bottom portion of our cylinder block is known as crankcase. A cover called crankcase, it becomes a sump for lubricating oil. That is, whatever lubricating oil will be there, it will be present in this portion, in this sump for the lubrication purpose. And the inner surface of our cylinder block is machined very finely. Its surface finish is very high to the cylindrical shape, and it is known as bore or face. This inner portion we called it as bore or face. It is having a very high degree of surface finish. If at any point of time you visit a workshop and see an open engine, there you can see the finishing here is of very high grade, like we have seen it in our last class also. In this engine, if you see here, the surface finish is very high. Surface finish is very high degree. It is very finely surfaced, and this portion is known as bore or face of the cylinder block. After this, the second component, which is very important, it is our main cylinder. As the name implies, it is basically a cylindrical vessel. It is basically a cylindrical vessel in which the piston will reciprocate. That is, either it will move up and down or in sideways direction, depending upon the type of engine. The volume which will be created in the cylinder during the operation of engine, this volume, that is, here it is piston, this is our cylindrical space. On the movement of piston, whatever volume is left, this volume is filled with our working fluid, and this particular volume is subjected to different thermodynamic process. And this space where the combustion will occur, it is known as our combustion chamber. The next component is piston. Piston is the cylindrical component which is fitted into the cylinder to form the boundary of combustion system. To form the boundary of the combustion system. It is fitted very properly. It is having a very tight fit into the cylinder, and it provides a gas tight space. It is providing a gas tight space so that there is no leakage of our products of combustion into the other parts. And it is also, piston is the first link which is formed for power transmission. Whatever energy is generated in the combustion chamber by the combustion of fuel, this energy is first transferred to the piston, and from the piston, it is carried forward with the help of connecting rod and crankshaft. So the first unit which is useful in power transmission, the first link in transmitting the power is piston. Then combustion chamber, it is the space which is enclosed between the upper part of cylinder by the cylinder head and the piston top. This is our upper part of cylinder head and this is our piston top surface. So whatever space is left here, this space is known as combustion chamber. Combustion of fuel takes place here. Consequently, whatever energy we produce here, whatever thermal energy is produced, it is used up for our power transmission, and the remaining product of combustion is also released from this space. Then we have inlet manifold and exhaust manifold. Inlet manifold, it is basically a pipe which connect the intake system to the inlet wall of engine, and through which the air or air-fuel mixture is drawn into the cylinder. This pipe is known as intake manifold, and it is connecting our inlet valve with the intake system. If you see at inlet valve in this image, here it is inlet valve, and above it, this is the mechanism which is operating this valve. So what is inlet manifold? It is a pipe which consists of this complete system, and Through this, either air or air fuel mixture enters into the combustion chamber. In case of CI engine, only air will be entering. In case of SI engine, air and fuel mixture will enter from this inlet manifold. Similarly, we have one exhaust manifold. This exhaust manifold, it is a pipe which is connecting the exhaust valve of the engine to the exhaust system of our automobile. And through this, whatever will be the product of combustion, these product of combustion will be released or will be escaping into the atmosphere through this exhaust manifold. If you see, intake system is totally different. It will be controlling supplier, how much supply of air should be there, what should be the proportion of air and fuel in case of air fuel mixture. That is how much air percentage should be there, how much percentage of fuel it should be there. It will be deciding all that thing. And exhaust system, in exhaust system, we are using filters so that harmful gases do not release directly into the atmosphere. And also, if we have placed a turbocharger, some part of energy will be utilized in running that turbocharger. Then you have inlet and exhaust valve. These are mushroom-shaped poppet valve. If you look at the shape is like mushroom. Both the valves are having a mushroom-type shape. They are provided either on the cylinder head or on the side of cylinder. In this image, we can see them. In this image, we are seeing them at cylinder head, but it doesn't mean that they will always be on cylinder head. They can be on the side also. They can be on the side of the engine cylinder also. And they are basically responsible for the charge which is coming into the cylinder and for the discharge of product of combustion. And then there is a spark plug which is responsible to initiate the combustion process in case of SI engine, while in case of CI engine, we will be having a fuel injector here. In CI engine, there is no spark plug. What we use is a fuel injector, which will be injecting the fuel. It means in CI engine, only air is going to come inside the cylinder. And after the compression stroke, the fuel will be entering through the fuel injector and the combustion will take place because of auto ignition of fuel. So this component is different for both the engine. In SI engine, you will be seeing spark plug. In CI engine, you will be having a fuel injector. Then comes connecting rod. It is interconnecting the piston and the crankshaft. It is interconnecting our piston and crankshaft. Here you can see, this is our crankshaft, this is the piston, and this rod, it is known as our connecting rod. The two ends which are connected to piston and crankshaft, these are known as small end and big end. The end which is connected to the piston, this end of the connecting rod is known as small end, and one which is connected to the crankshaft, it is known as big end. This end is known as big end. Small end, it is connected to piston, and bigger end, it is connected to the crankshaft. What is a crankshaft? It is a device which is converting the reciprocating motion of the engine into the rotational motion of the output shaft. In the crankshaft of a single cylinder engine, there are a pair of balance weight, and this crankshaft is also enclosed inside the crankcase. It is also inside the crankcase. Then if you look at the piston, if you see at the piston, here you can see these are known as what is called as piston ring. These rings which are on the piston, which are graduated on the piston, are known as piston ring. These are actually basically slots which are formed around the piston, and it provides a tight seal between the piston and the cylinder wall and prevent the leakage of combustion gases. It is providing a tight seal between our piston and the cylinder wall, which is preventing the leakage of combustion gas into the crankcase. The product of combustion or our working fluid, both of these should not reach our crankcase because we are having a lubricant here. It should not get contaminated. So to prevent this contamination, what we are using, we have prepared slots over the piston known as piston ring. Then we have a gudgeon pin which forms the link between the small end of connecting rod and the piston. Then you have camshaft and cam. The camshaft and its associated parts, it will be controlled opening and closing of the valves. Opening and closing of both the valves, they are controlled with the help of camshaft. This shaft also provides the drive to the ignition system, and it is driven by a crankshaft. Camshaft is driven by the power to run the camshaft is provided by crankshaft. That is, whatever power we are generating inside the engine, that same power is utilized to run the different components. Also, there are cams. What are cams? These are integral part of camshaft and are designed in such a way to open the valve at correct timing and to keep them open for the necessary duration. What do you mean by necessary duration? The time period in which the sufficient quantity of air fuel mixture or sufficient quantity of air can enter in case of inlet valve, and the product of combustion can escape in case of exhaust valve. So this incoming charge, outgoing product of combustion, both of these required some sufficient time period. So this time period is known as the necessary duration for which the valves will be kept open with the help of cam. And finally, there is a flywheel. The flywheel is used to achieve a uniform torque. See, here we will be having four processes will be there. That is, firstly, injection, then compression, power or expansion, and then there will be exhaust. So during the power stroke, it may be possible that whatever power is generating in this combustion chamber, the quantity of this power is very much different. Suppose for one cycle, it is generated 3 kilowatt of power. For another one, it will be 3.5 or 3.8. For next, it can be 2.5. So it is depending upon the quantity of fuel which we have supplied. And this quantity is depending upon the acceleration which we are given. So the power which is coming out, it is not uniform. So to make it uniform, we have placed a flywheel. Since we want a uniform output, so that engine or the operation of engine does not fluctuate very much. If suppose in one cycle, the power output is very high, in another cycle, it is very low. So it will create some damaging effects on our engine. So to prevent these, what we are using a flywheel, which will ensure that whatever torque or whatever power we are generating out of this, it will be in a uniform manner. Whatever additional will be generated, it will first absorb it and then it will release it whenever the requirement is there. If you see here, complete explanation is given about the different components. What is cylinder block? What is our cylinder? Cylinder head, piston, combustion chamber, intake manifold, then exhaust manifold, piston end, connecting rod, camshaft, cams, camshaft. The complete explanation is given here. Flywheel is mounted on our camshaft, and it is maintaining the speed constant. That is, it is maintaining whatever power we are getting is uniform. And how it does it? It is done by storing the excess energy during the power stroke, and it will be returned during some other stroke or some other cycle. So these were the main components of IC engine.